Yo, what's up everybody? Eric Wong here from ericwongmma.com, and in this video I'm going to give you a quick little tutorial on the theory of strength training based on movement patterns, not muscles. Now, traditional weight training, weightlifting, resistance training is based on the bodybuilding style theory, which is based on training your muscles, isolating your biceps, isolating your pecs, hitting your triceps. What exercises are good for your abs, what exercises are good for your hamstrings, things like that. That's great if your goal is a bodybuild and to build up certain muscle groups, but if you're training for athleticism, like a sport like mixed martial arts or hockey or baseball, working and thinking about movement patterns is more beneficial for you. It's a more efficient way of training. When you base your workouts on movement patterns, you don't have to work too often. You can get away with strength training twice a week and still make gains, which is what I recommend for my fighters, because they got MMA training 6 days a week, they got jobs sometimes, family, kids, so they can't spend all day in the gym lifting weights. Now, there's 6 major movement patterns to focus on. There's the squat, the bend or the deadlift, the push, the pull, the twist, and the lunge. And I'm gonna run you through these right now. So the squat, most people think of the squat, they think of the back squat, you got the barbell up on your back. That's the squat movement pattern. What this is keeping your chest up and movement happening at the hips and the knees. So there's a lot of movement happening at both the hips and the knees. Throughout that movement, you want to keep up tall, chest down. The bend or the deadlift movement pattern is a little bit different. A lot of people confuse this. For the bend and the deadlift, most of the movement happens at the hips. It's a hinge of the hips tilting over, back is still straight, knees are slightly bent, and they can bend a little bit when you're doing a full conventional deadlift, they bend a little bit, but mostly the movement is happening at the hips. Now the difference between these two movement patterns is the bend movement pattern focuses more on your posterior chain, which is your hamstrings, your glutes, your back muscles, all through your back, including your shoulder blades. The squat focuses more on your leg muscles and your glutes. So it's your glutes, your quads, and your hamstrings. That's the main difference between the squat and the bend or deadlift. Okay, let's go to the lunge, another lower body movement pattern. Now the lunge is any time you've got the split stance. So I could be doing a reverse lunge like that, a forward lunge like that, or I could even be doing a stationary lunge, sometimes referred to as split squat, but this is more of a lunge movement pattern because your feet aren't parallel like in the squat or the deadlift or the bend. Okay, so that's the lunge movement pattern. Next up, we have the push. Push movement pattern is anytime you're doing like a bench press exercise. You could be doing, say, a TRX push up. This is a push movement pattern. Okay, any kind of push up or any kind of overhead press exercise, like a military press or a push press, that's all push movement pattern. That's predominantly using chest, anterior deltoids, and triceps. On the flip side of that, you've got the pull movement pattern. And the pull movement pattern is anytime you're pulling your hands closer to your body. So any kind of row exercise, like a seated row, you're doing chin-ups or pull-ups. This is a pull movement pattern right here because my hands are coming closer to my body and pulling my hands closer to my body, or in that case, pull my body closer to my hands. That's an open chain movement. So that's the pull movement pattern. That's going to be predominantly working your biceps, your back muscles like your lats, your rhomboids in between your shoulder blades, and posterior deltoids more right there. Okay? Finally, we have the twist movement pattern. Now, there's an important distinction between the 2 different types of twist movement patterns. You can actually do a rotation, so you're actually twisting your torso, but for any of you guys with back pain, this is something you want to be very careful about. You don't want to do a lot of twisting because that can wreak havoc on your discs in your low back especially. The other variation of the twist movement pattern is when you're resisting rotational movement. So say, to use this example, I'm holding myself up here and I just want to rotate out that way. I have to resist that with my core muscles. Otherwise, if I just relax my core, I just fall out. So that's resisting the rotational force. So for you guys with low back pain, that's the type of training in terms of the twist movement pattern that you want to do more of. Another example, a simple one we can do right now, is a one-arm plank. One-arm plank, I want to just drop and fold like that, but to avoid that, I've got to be stable through my core and my upper body to resist that rotational force there. Okay? Other good exercises are wood chops, where you've got the cable, either rubber band or a cable stack, and you're coming across your body, or the Palloff press, where you're just pressing out in front in different positions, split stance, half kneeling, kneeling, and so on. Or also, great one, the one leg stiff legged deadlift, like I show in this video tutorial right up here. Okay, so that's your basic primer on the movement patterns, the theory of movement patterns, and training based on movement as opposed to training based on muscles. And it's more beneficial for athletes, anybody involved in sport, and I think it's more beneficial for those of you who aren't trying to get bigger and who are training more for function and performance and general health. Okay, that's the video today. That's what I got for you. Hopefully it was a little bit enlightening for you, and it showed you a different way to look at your resistance training and your weightlifting. All right, if you like this video, make sure you subscribe and hit me up at www.ericwongmma.com. All right guys, I'm out for now. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.